Are we rolling, Pika? I told you that was not a New Year's resolution, nor was it. It was New Year's Eve. We were drunk, and I said, you really pushed my buttons, Pika, and that's before he hit me. But he took that as permissions to touch the buttons in the studio. No, Pika. You cannot. You know what? Let's be kinder and gentler. You do not have permission to push my buttons. Namaste. Hi, everyone. It's Reverend Sully's Comics Talk. Welcome back. We're going on our third year of talking about comic books on YouTube. It's a hobby about my hobby. I love being able. I have a day job. I work, Monday through Friday, and I have nights and weekends off. I'm a union tradesman. Oh, that's a good cup of coffee. I get my coffee through Dell's Coffee. It's a friend of mine. It's recently been roasted. I just ground these whole beans, and this is a darn good cup of coffee. There's a link in the About page. Woof! Oh, here we go. How are you? I brought a snack. I live down the street from a real French bakery. She's from Lyon. I speak French just a little bit to her, and then she starts talking very rapidly to me, and I'm like, je n'écoute pas bien, mademoiselle. Oh, jolie mademoiselle. But, like $6 at your supermarket, you can get like a 10-pack of something called an eclair. This is an authentic French eclair made by an authentic French woman, a French baker. And this is made with real cream, real sugar, real chocolate, real butter. It's chocolate cream one. Oh, wow. You're going to notice the difference any second now when the sugar rush hits me. I'm going to get hyperactive. Hyperactive when I'm small. Hyperactive when I'm tall. How you doing? Good to see everyone. It is New Comic Book Day. The first New Comic Book Day of 2024. Keep telling yourself it's 2024. Me personally, gosh, I'm an old man now. I was 11 years old going on. I'd be 12 years old by November, but I was 11 years old for 11 months, 19 days, 11 months and 18 days of the year 1984. So for me personally, I'm going to spend this year in kind of a personal celebration of 1984, the 40th anniversary of this weird year that George Orwell called in a science fiction book. And it was an auspicious year, kind of like 2001 as well, because, sci-fi stuff. We are a comic book channel. We talk about comic books. This show on Wednesday, it's pre-recorded, but before a live studio audience of my stuffed animals. And but on Sundays, we do a live stream at 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and come aboard where we review the comic books that we pick up today on new release day. I go to my local comic book shop every Wednesday. I don't consider myself a Wednesday warrior, more like a Wednesday National Guardsman on active duty. One weekend a month and 1 week a year or something like that, right? Be all you can be. Go to your LCS, your local comic book shop. All you hear are hues and cries in the YouTube spheres of the failings of comic books. It's either it's story-wise on the page, or it's disappointments at the shelves that they can't move all this unsellable bad comics. There are plenty of good comics out there. It seems as though, because we're going to go to a web page today, because we can now, because I'm using StreamYards to shoot the show. I shoot my content to share a screen. Yeah, let's share a screen. And, new comics this week. Here we go. We're here at leagueofcomic.com/comics/new-comics. That is the URL, the universal resource locator that you can find in your own browser bar right on top of the screen. This is from, leagueofcomicgeeks.com. There are ads that will flare up all show long. I apologize for that in advance. Let's see. Let's do some counting. That's it. Every line has, let's shrink this a little bit first. Go back to my girthy stallion. Really? No way. We have, okay, that's 8. All right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 times 8 is 96 minus 3. 96 minus 3 is 93. So sometimes there are about 150 comics solicited in a week. Today we have 93. So this is like a light week. And I'm just a fan. I'm just a buyer, a lifelong fan of comic books. When I was a kid, one of the first I remember buying comics off of the newsstands and the spinner racks of the corner stores in the Boston area. Yeah, we are pre-recorded and from our Boston studios, which is down the street from the corner. And at the corner, sometimes it'd be a corner store where my dad would say, like, hey, you got a choice. You can either go to the corner store and get me a pack of smokes and keep the change, or you can go to the corner store and get me a pack of smokes and give me back my change. That was my choice. Later on in life, I learned that it's called the Hobson's choice. It's kind of like a choice that, like, very little is in it for you. It's the illusion of choice. Kind of like politics, huh? Well, what's on the list here? What is this? My Girthy Stallion, written by Cecil, writer, penciler, inker Ethan Van Sciver. Now let's blow it up a bit. Let's blow this up! Whoa! Hey, driver, get a load of these. My Girthy Stallion is part of. This is interesting to see this on a solicit this releases January 1st. Yeah, it's written by Cecil. It's written by Ethan Van Sciver, colored by and penciled and inked. I'm a big fan. And not much information, but it's solicited. My Girthy Stallion is a Pika. We have to be better prepared. Okay, this is my phone. So that's called, it's Rainbow the Brood. And this is an all caps comic that's coming out that I've crowdfunded. And he's about the toughest guy in Fairyland. He's about like a He-Man doll that's part of like a girl's toys collection. And I'm fascinated with toys. And I like the potential of this series, because it's about like, because it's been about, like, feminizing boys' toys for the past decade now. But what if we were to do the opposite? What if we were supposed to, like, throw a hyper toxic masculine character into something like Strawberry Shortcake or Rainbow Bright? So it's a parody of early 80s toys, and just with some with some perspective too about like, like, hey, what's happened to boys' toys? Why, and what if we did this to girls' toys? Would that be as fair? So it's really interesting. So my girthy stallion is kind of like My Little Pony, but instead of a My Little Pony, it's a girthy stallion. You got it. And but yeah, these are all the comic books that are being solicited this week, and we like to go to this page, and we're going to talk about each and every issue. Not each and every issue, no, just the ones that are big two superhero comics. We have a big now I like comics, and I like all kinds of comics, but I am a big two superhero fan. Yes. That's what I was saying. I grew up as a small child in the late 1970s and early 1980s. So I saw the transition from the newsstand to the direct market. The direct market is what we call the local comic book shop, the LCS. I remember my first comic book shop. It was wow. It was a beautiful memory. It's a beautiful memory. It was a wonderful place. And it was across the street from my grandfather's work. So I'd go say hi to my grandpa. He'd slip me $1, and I'd immediately go across the street and spend it on Funnybooks. And it was great. And but I've been a lifelong comic book fan. I like to go to comic book shops. I like to see what's on the shelves. I like to see what's in the back bins. I like to talk to the staff. I like to talk to other guests. Just they fascinate me. They are local bookstores. They are independent bookstores. It's the 21st century, and these small businesses have made it out of lockdown. And, we need to go to these stores, and we need to buy their wares and give them our patronage. So I buy my comics at my local comic book shops. I buy all my supplies there too. I don't buy any of my supplies through the online supply chain. The one with the free shipping and the built-in movie network. But let's get to it. Yeah, and thank you for being here for year 3 of Reverend Sully's Comic Book Talk. We started this off with the golden age of DC Comics. It was a page-a-day hardcover book that one of my best friends gave to me about 20 years ago. It has been surfing my coffee table ever since. So it's this wonderful source of comic book shop style conversation. Then that evolved into the Comics Coffee Table for 2023. We were doing a daily show. We did that for 564 consecutive episodes. Very proud of that. But it's tough, being a YouTube producer, producing your own show. You need a work-life balance. And oyente hoy, cuenta con hasta sufrir. Where's the skip at? There we go. Thank you. Oh, good. This isn't in Spanish too. We've got 5 variant covers. Ooh, I like this one. The cover F, bat symbol, Zurinar, foil variant. You could get me on that one. I might or might not buy this. And because I got the last issue and I was a little disappointed. The stunning conclusion to Mind Bomb by Chip Zdarsky and Jorge Jimenez. Zurinar has done the unthinkable. Yeah, I knew this was coming too. This kind of it was legacy number 906. It's $4.99 for 40 pages. Stunning art by Jorge Jimenez. I get it just for his art. I'm not really happy with the Zdarsky direction, I guess. I mean, he's not terrible. I mean, I see where he's coming from, literally derivative of Grant Morris and stuff. And then this last issue, he had this weird, it's a memory trick where you build a castle in your head of an imaginary castle. And in each room, you have all your mementos. And each room is meant to represent a certain memory or part of life where you can categorize and identify all the different aspects of that time of life. It's like self-help book kind of shit. And so there's Zdarsky regurgitating that in Batman 140, and this like big fight between Batman and his inner demon, Zur-En-Arrh, the backup. So this is about like, maybe it's about redundancy. Maybe the tone, the theme of this book is about redundancy and about I love this cover. I am a sucker for a variant cover, especially a foil variant cover. I mean, my LCS had a copy of Titans Beast World #1 on the shelf, $6.99, but it was a lenticular cover. So it was Starro, and then it was Beast Boy, Changeling, Gar Logan, and it was I'm just like, lenticular cover. Ooh, and I came very close. Great Ivan Rice art. I just don't see. I don't want to feed that beast. No thanks. But yeah, that's Batman 141. And this is sorted by the most solicited too. We've got also, so these are the two flagship titles for the big two, Batman and the Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man #41. $4.99 cover price. See, that says listed 28 pages. That's only 21 to 22 pages of story and art, what you would know as sequential panels. Yes, the cover art counts. And look at that beautiful cover art. I love when J.R. Jr. draws his own co-creation, Typhoid Mary. Typhoid Mary was such a late 80s character. I love that character. And just how Matt Murdock steps in his own poop, with that character. It's just great. It's gang war continues. That's right. Now we've got Wilson Fisk, who's not only the kingpin of crime, but he's now the White King of the Hellfire Club. This is like we're in the halfway point of gang war. And then I remember too, there was a gang war in okay, good. There was a gang war. Bronze Age. Is this the one? Oh, it's called Spinner Rack. Sorry. Pika, you're supposed to do this before the show. There was another gang war. Oh, well, let's not bore the Pika. You're officially boring people. You're so boring, Pika. Well, we've got 7 variant covers. Remember, these two down here, those are 2 different covers. It's an exclusive variant, but this is a virgin variant. That means you can see it has no trade dress, and it's just all cover. This is the Disney variant. You see that? It's a parody of Avengers #1. So this is $4.99. Oh, look, it's Rom, the Space Knight. That's the Rom variant. The hair, wow. But yeah, so it's like $3.99 is still the median cover price. It really is. But $4.99 is where it's going. And Amazing Spider-Man is a good place to see where, okay, they're really doing it. They're going up to, $4.99 for a 22-page story. The rest of it's ads and covers, seriously. We've got Venom. Nice costume. And it's a Legacy 229. It's $3.99 for 28 pages, as we always identify as 21 to 22 pages of story and art, as you know it. We've only got 2 variant covers. That's interesting. I love Lionel Francis Yu's art. It's kind of weird. It's one good thing about Fall of X that they actually bring up that what are you going to do with all of these Wolverine corpses from the Resurrection Protocols, and they've been weaponized. And I don't know if, yeah, there's lots of symbiotes. It's like, yeah, it's not my thing. Poison Ivy by G. Willow Wilson. This has been outstanding. Luana Vecchio, now in like cover artist Jessica Fong, editor in chief Marie Evans, but it's Ben Abernathy who. Where that? Whoa! Hey, usually, okay, here it is. Okay, usually there's an oval, a yellow oval with the bat symbol right around here. Now it's over here now. Okay, that denotes it's part of the Bat family of titles, and this has been pretty good macabre horror. We've got 4 variant covers. See, one of them is the Virgin. Actually, not quite Virgin because I can see the. It just has DC right up here, while the other one has trade dress, meaning like Poison Ivy number 18, and a UPC symbol and creator credits. So they consider that 2 different covers. And but Poison Ivy is good for something cheesecakey, you know. Yannick Paquette. Love Yannick Paquette's art. She's like, you know, so it's Pamela Isley. She's like Mother Nature, but also they're taking a lot of elements from like Swamp Thing stuff, like about the green and the red, and this is very Swamp Thingy. But the past couple of issues have been really, really good. Fantastic Four. Beautiful Alex Ross cover with 3 variant covers. Ryan North has been writing this. It's been entertaining. It's been fun. It's been safe. A lot of these issues were one and dones, were like single issues that, you know, so it kind of betrayed the arc format of just like, you know, written for the 3, 4, 5, or 6 issue story cycle. I brought snacks. So yeah, that looks great. These Alex Ross covers. So Alex Ross is doing Marvel covers for Fantastic Four, Immortal Thor, Fantastic Four, the Immortal Thor, and Doctor Strange. So far that I know. Those are pretty cool. Oh, great. Fuck you, Greg Pak. That's right. Sorry. $4.99 for 28 pages. Let's see. Rise of the Schism Imperial. Now, Dark Droids is over, thank God. Thank the maker. And let me check the live chat here. I'm just kidding. This one's pre-recorded. Wednesdays we record this first. We have 4 variant covers for an issue 42. It's the Darth Vader logo variant. That one's for $4.99. Let's see. That's the 1 in 25 variant. It goes for $4.99. But the retailer exclusive, that goes for $23.99. It's a print run of one. It's only a print run of 1,500. You hear about variants. I mean, like, will that retain its $23.99 cover price value if you're able to slab that thing at somewhere between a 9.2 and a 9.8? I mean, that's the only, you know, you're never going to read that book. is it going to be any good to begin with? You know what I mean? Because it's a Greg Pak book. Sorry, you blocked me on Twitter for no reason besides I was on a list. That's who you are. That's a reflection of you, sir, not me. And I'll never buy any of your shit. Sorry, kid. That would make me a sucker. Yeah, that's that. That's Star Wars Darth Vader. Most of these comics are in my digital pirate chest. So I do read. I've been reading a shit. I've been reading all of the Star Wars books. They're not that good. Shazam #7 by everyone's favorite Mark Waid. Now these are some great variant covers. See, I love Mary Marvel. I could be sold on this. No Dan Mora on this as well. It's Goran Sudzuka. And it's a Dan Mora cover. Now here's I love Black Adam as a character. See, look over here, like around his cape and behind him. There is that's the screen tone filter. You know, and that's just nothing but a clicking point. And it's there to look comic booky. It's just this complete overuse of that filter. It's like, and how much of those splash effects there were actually hand drawn? They're not. I would love to see a comparison to the black and white line art in this, to see how much is just added. And yeah, he's not even listed as Shazam or Captain Marvel. He's just Captain. I'm your captain. Yeah. Yeah, we have 4 variant covers for a random issue 7. You know, but will you be picking this up? Have you put down Shazam readers? Have you put down the Captain because of, because of Mark Waid and what he says? It's interesting. I'd like to know. I really would. I've been enjoying the heck out of this comic book. Kelly Thompson's Birds of Prey, and it's the last part of the first arc. I like the fight sequences. I like the character dialogue balloon, the word balloons. I like hearing their voices because everyone's talking in character. We've got 4 variant covers here, and I'm having fun with this one so far. Yeah, this has been a lot of fun, and keep it coming, girls. Please keep it coming. Doctor Strange #11. We were just talking about those Alex Ross covers. And those are just the common covers too. This is the A cover. $3.99. We got 2 variant covers, like Wolverine on a Ghost Rider bike, but with a Wolverine-ish kind of. It's not a skull in the front. It's wow. Is this Wolverine's 50th anniversary? See this little this 50 years thing here? It's Wolverine's 50th anniversary. Remember, Luke Cage did not get a 50th anniversary in 2022. But Howard the Duck is, and Wolverine especially is. Happy birthday, Logan. Sweet Christmas. The Fall of the House of X by Jerry Duggan. I'll be reading this. We've got, wow, how many variant covers? 5, 11, and that's including virgin covers. Stanley Art Germlau draws beautiful women. I grew up with Ilyana Rasputin, so she was a teenager by the time I started really reading New Mutant comics. And I had a little bit of schoolboy crush on this non-delusional parasocial friendship of mine with the with the New Mutants. But oh boy. Here's a Scotty Young connecting variant. Oh boy. But yeah, X-Men books. Yay. I've only bought an issue or two just to check it out. Now here's a big disappointment for me. Like it's just a miss with me. I'm not. Yeah, it's J. Michael Straczynski's Captain America. It's issue 5, and we are in Jesus Ciez is already not the primary artist. And here, yeah, another Wolverine, 50 Years of Wolverine tribute cover. It's cute, but yeah, and maybe just this is what's blame the editors. We got, chicks in charge. Maybe that's the problem. Eric, you sound so misogynistic. You'd be too if you were single as long as me. What the fuck? People are people. Humans are humans. People are assholes. I'll tell you that much. I can be. It's The Vengeance of Moon Knight, $5.99 for issue 1. How many? We've got 2, 7, 11 variant covers for this quote unquote issue 1 of of the new direction of Moon Knight. And who will the new Moon Knight be? Will it be Panderverse or will it be authentic? Who knows? Blue Beetle number 5. These are okay. It's kind of Power Rangery. And but we got a lot of Latino people working on this book. Hey, no Latinas. Hey, what's up? Hey, ¿qué onda? ¿Qué pasó? Ay, pero. Whoop, burp. But yeah, I think this will be. I think this is the last issue of this. It might be. It's a 5-issue. 5 issues are like the run now, right? For a trade paperback. But I think this would collect nicely, especially in that compact format. And try to get this on Scholastic. Try to get like younger readers reading adventures about younger heroes. Now, like they did it again. Jaime Reyes I think he's graduated high school, so now he's not a kid anymore. He's a young man. He's it's a different problem set, a different melodrama set. I mean, these kids grow up so quickly. Well, in a comic book, they don't have to. They could stay 8 to 10 years old for decades. An aging kid and teen psychic characters up really plays havoc down the line with the ages of the established superheroes. And it's probably a big reason why we have to have a crisis or a flashpoint is to reset the clock. One of the big things about the New 52 was all the heroes were brought back in age to their mid to late 20s. Yeah. Apparently, death metal fixed all of that, I guess. Marvel Zombies, look at that cover. Beautiful cover. Kyle Holtz did the cover of that. We've got 4 variant covers. The anthology, Red, White, and Blood. And it's okay. Yeah, I mean, it hasn't gotten any of my money yet or space on the spinner rack. The last issue would have, because it had a Peach Momoko cover and a Peach Momoko story, which was so weird. I like Momoko because she's weird. You can really get into her art and spend time looking at her art. The best part of it for me is the time that I can spend enjoying a Peach Momoko piece, whether it's a cover or a couple of pages of sequential art. And it doesn't matter if it makes sense or not. Usually it probably won't. But this particular Marvel Zombies tale last month didn't make that much sense to me. Thanos #2, starring Hulk. Christopher Cantwell. We got a ROM variant cover. What's it? ROM's 40th birthday? Can't be. That was 1978, 79. Maybe it's just a celebration of some, like, because the big thing here is the Hasbro logo. It's not ROM. It's this down here, licensed by Hasbro. That's big. I never had a ROM. One of my best friends did. It was a weird action figure. I mean, because it wasn't at scale with your other action figures. It was a real oddball misfit, you know. And that Marvel comic book really was the crown jewel of that toy experience. ROM the toy was not very, as we call, toyetic. Here we go. All right. Everyone's favorite, Joanne Starr. Fuck you, kid. Sorry. You blocked me on Twitter. Why, you thin? See, that's got more to do with you as a human and an individual. It's got more to do with your emotional intelligence. It's got more to do with your education. And you probably are a college graduate as well. And I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying that, like, you're a thin-skinned individual. You just get on with your. How am I supposed to buy any of your stuff? I'm not. And I don't have bad things to say about your comic book. I love the Dodsons doing the covers are really good. This is not supposed to be a serious superhero comic book. It's not made for me. This is made for, like, this is a boutique item. This is look at your normal or your typical newsstand. If you can't even remember one, there would be men's magazines and women's magazines and a huge spectrum in the middle for certain, like, for sports, for science, for news, for nature stuff. Like, you know what I mean? This is just, this is part of that paradigm. So this is fine that it's not made for me. You know, I think the art inside of it's decent, really decent. I like the colors. The colors are really eye-popping and vibrant, in that everything does not turn into a morass of modern purple, of which I approve of now, because that's the blues accepting reds and working together to make purple, which is everywhere in comics. And I like to remind blues that this is be better and be like purple. You need to include the reds to make this purple blue. Yeah, but we got 2 variant covers. It's yeah, I mean, it has its moments, but it's also it's pretty cringy. And so all of what I've just said here, right? This is my typical reaction to a Fire and Ice Welcome to Smallville issue over the past 4 issues. That kind of attitude and that kind of delivery and that kind of thinking is worthy of being blocked by the creator of the writer of that. Can you believe that? Do you accept that? Do you think that's fair? Do you think that's wise? Do you think that's okay? I mean, or you can be like Joanne Starr and just, like, no, you're not a person. I already got paid. I don't have to. This isn't something like that. Isn't disparaging the product. Who knows? But I hope it sells with its audience that's looking for. I really do. This has been a really interesting, good comic book. It's Doug Breathwaite's doing the art for this. We got 4 variant covers. Oh, look at this variant cover. That's so cool. It's supposed to look like a little golden book. Ha! That's awesome. You know, I haven't bought an issue of this, but I've read a bunch of them, and it's really, it's a Jay Lee cover. Oh, you got so much good talent on this book, and it's really Bronze Agey. It's blood and guts, and it's tit and ass, and it's barbarian pecs and swords and yeah, this got gusto, man. I'm just not a sword and sorcery fan. I'm a sci-fi fan. But damn, I can appreciate and respect the hell out of this book. Conan the Barbarian on Titan Books by Jim Zub and Company has the goods. I've been reading this. This has been okay. Of all the Star Wars books that comes out, it's written by Charles Soule. We've got apparently 5 variant covers. And I think this is the last issue of this. This wraps up this mini. It's called the Shadows of Starlight from the High Republic era. And yeah. I mean, yeah, okay. And then we can see further down the page, you can count the issues. They will show you the issues that are coming out to be solicited after this. So it stops at 4. So this is the last issue. And it's been a pretty interesting story. I mean, compared to the other Star Wars books, this is great. And that's a really low bar because the other Star Wars books have not been that good. And especially when you have writers like Craig Upak and Alyssa Yu Wong, giving this lifelong Star Wars fan absolutely no reason to want to be part of this. I mean, why would I want to? It's like, hey, look, like 1/4 of your creative team is blocking on Twitter. Why the hell would I support anything coming out of that office? I mean, seriously. I mean, try that with someone else. Let's see. We got Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man, $20.99. We got Titans Beast World Tour Atlantis. Once at a time at the end of the world. Oh, this was really a disappointment for me. I tried this because I like buying comic books. I want to buy different books. And I saw the issue 1 on the shelf behind. I think it was the current issue. So I took a chance, and I'm like, ugh, this is dreck. And when you say stuff like that, it isn't being mean to the creators. It's about how you're dealing with your tastes, and maybe even also now dealing with buyer's remorse because you spent money on this. Yeah, it's somewhere in the great big pile of unreadable comic books I'll never read again. Like, what do you do with comics that you'll never read again, that you can't resell, that won't retain its cover price, that has, I mean, I wonder if I should talk to some of the military friends out there. Like can I bundle these up and send it overseas to some soldiers? And would that even be fair to do to them? Shouldn't I send them nice books? Here's one I've been looking forward to. Kneel Before Zod #1 by Joe Casey. This is, let's see how long this is going to be. It appears to be 3 issues. And Zod rules a world of his own. And he's got a son, too. And Zod's son is going to hang out with Sinestro's son. And they're going to be like, we can't have the Super Sons, we're going to have the Sinister Sons. Hey, why not? Comics should be fun. It sounds fun. Let's see what else. This has been a really good book. Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy. Sorry about that. The art in this is Ron Mars is writing this. We got Ron Lim on pencils. Don Ho is inker. And I think this is the last issue. Yeah, this is the last issue. Yeah. But this has zero variant covers. Yet this has been really good. I mean, as an old style Marvel book goes, it's got pacing, quality of art, great sequential panels. We have an actual penciler, an actual inker. And that goes a long way visually with me. There's just a certain feel to it. Maybe it's like the difference between a $4.99 French, authentic French eclair and one that you can get a half dozen for $4.99 from an American baker that's full of, high fructose corn syrup and canned vanilla pudding as the cream filling, stuff like that. That's the legend. That's the level of craftsmanship that goes into common food versus like a boutique food. Now, Silver Surfer Rebirth Legacy is like one of the best Marvel comic books you might not be enjoying. Have I bought any of them? No. I've never been a Silver Surfer fan. I was never an Adam Warlock fan either, because what preceded this was Warlock Rebirth Legacies 1 through 5, which turned me on to this because of the writing and the art. It was just, this is good stuff. And speaking of good stuff, we've got Robert Venditti's Superman The Metal Curtain 78. This is a set. We have, this is going 5 issues. And this is set on Earth 789, where it's the Richard Donner Superman universe. So we're taking visual cues from the actors, like photorealistic art of the cast of of those movies, like Jackie Cooper looks like. It looks like his role there. I mean, Jackie Cooper was Perry White. Margot Kidder was Lois Lane. Of course, Christopher Reeve was Superman. Even look at this one here. This is the preview art for issue number 4, and it's got it's got a variant cover. But here, this is the initial actor who played Lex Luthor was Gene Hackman. And then there was a follow-up movie in the 90s called Superman Returns. You had Brandon Routh as Clark Kent Superman, and you had Kevin Spacey playing Gene Hackman's Lex Luthor. So this image here, I think, really nails a bit of both actors, a bit of Gene Hackman and a bit of Kevin Spacey. This has 2 variant covers. Oh, that's a nice variant cover. Look at that. Ain't that cool? I like that a lot. That's really cool. And this has been a really good book. This has been part of my digital pirate chest. It's been a pleasure to read this. It's going to collect very well. And hopefully you can catch that too. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, comics for girls, by girls, for girls. I don't think so. I don't know. Who's Neo Fuji? I don't know. But it's Jeff the Shark, and it's cats, and it's heroes and their cats. I know someone that might like this book. I will pick this up for my best friend's daughter who has 3 cats. And she, I think, just turned 14. And wow, she's getting so old. But I buy her comic books still. And I hope she likes them. But she might like this one. I think that I would totally buy this for her. Yeah. I will buy comic books for other people. This is not made for me. That's fine. I'll spend $5.99 on my quote unquote niece. And I think she'll I hope she likes it. She likes Starlight Cats a lot from 9 Lives comics. That's by Shane Davis and Yanzi Lin. Then that had a big cat angle to it as well. And yeah, I'll buy that for somebody. Kid Venom Origins, $4.99. Now, Kid Venom was this backup feature that was in the back of the Death of the Venomverse mini that was out a couple of months ago. And it's got this writer artist is Taigami. And well, it's got 3 variant covers. Ooh, I love Humberto Ramos's art. Oh, that is a really good art. That's really good art. I love Humberto Ramos. He's a nice dude too. But Kintaro, Earth Unknown, and he's a kid, and he's got his first appearance was Death of the Venomverse, #2 in a 5-page backup. So you had 4 5-page backups for your 20-page story. Yeah, maybe check it out because it's kind of very Peach Momoko-ish. It's a misfit, and it's the art's bold, and it's interesting, and it's unpaved continuity. It's new stuff, and something to check out. It's out there. I mean, yeah, seriously. Look at this. Batman Scooby-Doo Adventures. Is this issue number 1, $2.99 for 32 pages. Exactly. Written by Choli Fish. Choli Fish has done a lot of work. Yeah. This is another good thing about this. You can always click on the creator's name and check out their other contributions. But yeah, this is proof. DC Comics could be selling you a common A-cover funny book for $2.99. How that, seriously, how would that help? Is that the way? I don't think so. I mean, the price of paper has skyrocketed since lockdown. You think, I mean, the prices of these things will only, skyrocket too. I mean, I don't see prices going down. They're only going up, 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 up. To live in this town, you must be tough, 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 tough. Shattered, shattered. We got rats on the west side, bedbugs uptown. Look at me, my eyes are tattered. I'm shattered. It's spilling me all over Manhattan. Shadooby, shattered, shattered. Shadooby. Okay, Boom has got the Power Rangers stuff. Apparently, they're doing really well with it. Now, okay, Ranger Academy. Listen, there were teens with attitudes to begin with. What do you need in an academy? Like, you expecting them to get knocked off one by one, and you're like, well, which one of you is going to be the Green Ranger this week? We got a room on the team. You know how to fly a Zord? I'll teach you. Here at the Rangers Academy. Here we go. We got Dynamite as Vampirella, and they've always been doing cheesecakey, male gazy, objectifying covers, and it's fine because that's part of the publication biz. That's just one of the things. I mean, I don't know. We can be fussy about. Let's be fussy at comics, please. I'm a sucker for an issue number 0. What's this? $5.99, 56 pages. Never before published comics from Dustin Weaver. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I like taking chances and stuff. Well, it's Packless, issue number 0. I'm a sucker for a 0 issue, and I can be talked into just picking stuff up. It's Star Trek, Picard's Academy. $3.99, 32 pages. And people like making fun of this book. And he has a lot to do with the editor of the Star Trek group at IDW. I think the less said, the better. I don't know this person. I don't follow them on Twitter. What I've seen of them on Twitter, it's been kind of weird. I don't know. I saw them at Fan Expo 2022. I wanted to go up to them and just talk to them, and because I wanted to meet this big bad. Here's the big bad. She's right there. Go talk to her. Ask her some questions. Maybe ask her out for a date. You never know. No, you know what I mean. But still, I was a little shy. You know, if I see them again, you know, maybe I'll just like, hi, LLAP, and see if like, you know, who knows? But you know, that's what comic book conventions are there for. You know, I saw Tim Sheridan last year. He was sitting right next to Jerry Duggan, and I talked to Jerry Duggan for 5 minutes. He's a friend of a friend. I didn't say anything to Tim Sheridan, but if I see him again, be like, "Hey, you're a fucking and thanks for the block." You know what I mean? But you know, or don't do that. Don't do that. I would not. Don't approach them. Don't talk to them. Don't engage with these people. They have the power to get you kicked out of the event. Just, you might think it's funny. You might think it's a gas. You might think, hey, I have a story. Like, hey, everybody, I hit on Heather Antos. You know what I mean? That's not cool. It's not something like that. I would genuinely approach them in conversation and not reveal any of that shit. Just to, balance my opinion of them with a little IRL, a little sprinkle, not salt. That's what this needs, less salt. You get so much sodium, we're all getting high blood pressure. Hey, look, it's an Archie comic, $9.99 for one of these jumbo digest comics, 192 pages. I'd never see these Archie digests anywhere. And you used to see them at the checkout counter at your grocery store. What else? Anything else? Notice that Oswald and the Star Chasers has not been solicited this week. Oswald. In fact, Oswald and the Star Chasers #3 has its release date is now TBD, to be determined, along with issues 4 and 5 and 6. So it's supposed to be a 6-issue mini. Its last issue came out on March 17th, 2023. Has this died? That happens to comic books sometimes. You'll be like, they won't fulfill the promise. It could go for something like what happened to Warren Ellis. His computer died, and he lost all of his files, and he was in the middle of Marvel's New Universe and a lot of other things. And there we go. Let's fix that. We lost all those stories, and he had to start over again. Pika, why don't you tell me? Oh, let's drink his job. You're right. But so buttons. So buttons. I like looking at comic books. One of my favorite websites. One of my favorite Twitter sites. Cancel that then. It's all right. No. Well, it's called the Spinner Rack. It's on Twitter. And they show old comic books. They do. Well, what comics are you getting this week? It might be a light week for me, and I'm all set with supplies. I've got plenty of bags. I've got plenty of boards. I've got plenty of boxes. And I'm ready for this new year. I am. I'm going to be continuing to go to my local comic book shop and buying new comic books, buying older comic books that, I was talking with Yule Carter one day, and he just, gave me some, I get, a nice little, random wisdoms from him. He's a comic book shop owner, Fantastic Comics in Berkeley, California. If you need comics, you could be your very own mailbox away from having your own local comic book shop, your LCS. contact Yule. His deets are in the description of the show. But he said, like, yeah, anything under 35 cents for cover price. And so that would be like about the late 70s, the mid to late 70s. I think the cover price was 25 cents in 1976. So 35 cents, because it goes up to 40 cents by like 1978 or so. I use the Comicron. Yeah, I'll show it to you. Comicron's a really good resource. Oh, I could have. Oh, it shows the median cover prices of all comics. So in 1975, all comics were a quarter, 2 bits. From 1939 to 1961, comics were a dime. They went from 60 pages down to like half that size or less. And here we go. I love this page though. But here, and it's split up. There was a big 3 back in the 70s, and Archie Comics was part of that big 3. So it was Marvel, DC Comics, and Archie Comics. And then that squashed down to all comics. But then there's a little differentiation too, because in 76, Marvel was still a quarter, but DC and Archie went up to 30 cents. 77 from 30 cents at Marvel. See, Marvel always tried to be a little bit more, accessible to that kid. You know what I mean? With, what are you going to do? Like, that extra 5 cents? Well, you could buy a candy or something, or that can go to another comic book, So there was only 1 year Marvel sold for 35 cents, and that was 1978. And but 35 cents was DC Comics. So DC Comics went up 20 cents in 2 years, but went back. They went from 35 cents to 50 cents, and then they had that DC implosion thing, and they went back down to 40 cents. Now I love that. This is like my wheelhouse as a kid, the 40 cent, 50 cent age, and then comes the 60 cent, the 75 cent age, where then I had a local comic book shop. So it was a little different, and I was just a little older. I was, in 1984, I was 11 years old. DC Comics had just gone up to 75 cents. That was 15 cents more. And, but yeah. In 2005, from 2000 to 2005, the median price was $2.25. And here's the median price now. And it's been $3.99 for about 13 years. And he just updated this too. After a conversation with me and Carrie from Nerdy Girl Creates, we were talking about stuff on Twitter just a couple of days ago. And I mentioned, because I retweeted, I quote tweeted something to Carrie from John at Comicron. And John popped into the conversation and he was like, oh, I updated the cover prices. It seems that the median cover price still, notwithstanding variant covers and the odd one shots, the common cover price is still $3.99. Now, when you include all that, the average price goes up to $4.94. And we're back. Sorry about that. Non-big 3, most common cover price is $4.99. Yeah, it's hard to get accurate numbers these days, and that's kind of done on purpose. It is. Yeah, here's the spinner rack. That's what I'm talking about. Mephisto. These are from 1986. Here we go. This is what I wanted to show you. All righty. Gang War. This is Amazing Spider-Man 287. And this is Gang War. It seems like Marvel is like get this really bad habit lately of going back to the 80s wells. Inferno. Fall of the X-Men. Or Fall of the Mutants. That kind of thing. Gang War. I just wanted to show you this one. I love the black costume. I do. Maybe this was a rush job. There's not a lot in the background, you know. Yeah, I really love this website. It's D-Man. Power Pack. And that was from on this date. Well, no, on this date, but December 30th, 1986. From 1980. When comics were 50 cents, 4 bits. 2 bits is a quarter. Dazzler number 2. Last Stand in Disco Land. I heard like, you know, Boogie Wonderland in my head. Is it Kazar or is it Kazar? You tell me. I loved 2-in-1 thing. You also had Marvel Team Up. Oh, okay. I was here for this. Front and center. Just turned 9 years old. It was really heavy. It's good stuff. I put this on my list. Things to get. The Supermobile. I had the Corgi toy, the little toy for this. I want this for my spinner rack. So I am on the hunt for Action Comics 481. That's 35-cent comic book. That was saying that, like, you know, my friend Yule Carter, owner of a comic book shop. It's like, yeah, you know, 35 centers are just like anything under 35 cents is like, you know, grab that. Why not? I mean, if it's in a good condition, you know, they're only getting older. They're only getting more and more rare. You know, some 40-cent comics. The Concord. See, that was a big thing back then. That was new. That was in the news. Fools! Never was big into the Warlord either. Like I said, I was into sci-fi, not this not sword and sorcery. I loved Brave and the Bold. Brave and the Bold was a fun comic. Brave and the Bold was the Batman team up. So you had this Batman, this like just Jim Aparo you know, style guide Bible Batman look with a host of all of the B and C listers. Now this is my you know, people talk about their legion of superheroes. Which legion of superheroes is yours? This is mine. Before the Baxter paper, before they changed the name, I was a kid and I was reading Superboy in the Legion of Superheroes. It was the coolest magazine in the world, and it probably formatted the coolness to come in both the Uncanny X-Men, New Mutants, and also the New Teen Titans over on DC. But this, my Legion, as a kid, I was 6 years old, 7 years old reading this stuff. You know, I have this oversized, I got this a lot too. This was fun, super fun. This had nothing to do with anything, but just the Saturday morning cartoon. Behold, a Power Girl. Yes, indeed, Power Girl from 1976. Look at that Batman. Look at that. Is that Denny O'Neil? Jim Aparo? I mean, it looks like. What do you think? Dwayne, are you out there? Let me know in the chat. 1988. Inferno. See, yeah, we just had another Inferno. I love these comic books. That's Joe Quesada art. Oh, no, that's Walter Simonson. I got confused. See, like you can see the big O there. Well, sometimes it's a Q for Joe Quesada. But no, that's the O in Simonson that Walter would base his signature around. My bad. Punisher War Journal, huh? Coming from next year, 2025, the Punisher Cookbook. And isn't that cute? I like that cover a lot. That would look great with my holiday stuff. Here, I'm going to put that on my list. Do you have a list of comics? You should. Have a list of comics. Put it on your phone. I got comic wants. I still got to find X-Men Days of Future Past Doomsday #2. But the list grows. Holiday cover. Marvel Comics presents issue 18 from December of 1988. So that would be a March 1989 cover price. I believe so. Let's look at this one. April. And that doesn't have one. It doesn't. But that one does. See, it says April. That means, like, you know, this is being released almost near the first week of January. You're only going to put this on the shelf for 3 months. And then after April, you have to take remove the cover, and you get, you have to destroy that funny book or eat the price of it. That was called returnability. Marvel Team Up. Look at this. That's a great cover. 35 center. I love books like this. I really do. That's I'm a Bronze Age baby. I love saying that. You recognize the Beetle from current comics? Well, Cosmic Boy. But yeah, my Legion of Superheroes was that mid to late 70s. Legends. I've never went back and reread that, because that was like a connective tissue level crisis between event comics, because you had Crisis on Infinite Earths just in 85, 86, celebrating the 50th anniversary of DC Comics. More Fun #1 came out in 1935 for National Periodical Publications, which eventually became DC Comics officially in 1978 with the name change. These Legends comics, though, I was like, Legends was about using the post-crisis Earth new continuity where all of the heroes have always been on the same planet, including Captain Marvel, Shazam, and like the Question, Blue Beetle. This is where Blue Beetle comes on to the scene into Justice League. Before that, Blue Beetle was a Charlton hero. And when Charlton got bought by DC Comics, National Periodical Publications, all of those comic book, I mean, the Charlton heroes were relegated to their own multiverse Earth. Now we have one Earth. And that was a big story note, too, in Crisis on Infinite Earths, too. This is a great cover. Look at this. I think I had this one. I was huge into Batman in the late 80s, in middle school. And this is all leading up to the premiere of the movie. Look at that cover. Love that. All-Star Squadron number 67. Roy Thomas. I don't know who Jones is. But I ask questions like, what would the legacy numbering of Justice Society of America be? Especially like after issue number 10 that comes out, which is Jeff Johns' last issue writing DC Comics. Are they going to end Justice Society of America? Or are they going to give us a new number 1? They did that with Flash. But if you were to put a legacy number on JSA, would you start back at All-Star Comics number 3 in 1940, which is the first appearance of the table and of the name of the team, and that's where they all came together? That would be the first JSA. Would you include those numberings? And would you include All-Star Squadron, or even the Justice Society, the All-Star Comics of the 70s too? I'm asking questions. What would Justice Society of America's legacy number be? Do you have an answer? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the comment section. I could do this all day. Look at the 1984. Look at the Sienkiewicz cover. I love New Mutants of back then because that was around that age. And it was a cipher for me to enter the X-Men universe. I, was an only child. I spent a lot of imaginary time, you know what I mean, in the danger room with my friends, looking smashing in one of those Xavier school uniforms. I love the New Mutant uniforms. It's great. Love these covers. 1984. Here we go. Web of Spider-Man number 1. I remember getting this, and I was just becoming aware of your need to bag and board and take good care of them, because this is an issue number 1. This could be worth a lot of money someday. And that would have been, I'd be 12 years old. And that's a good age to start figuring that kind of shit out. Look at that cover. Beautiful cover. All that detail. You know what I mean? Just like in motion too, and just of form, of musculature. You know what I mean? A flexion. That's a thing of like musculature, of this flexion and this relaxation. And how like I don't know, that's art and the physiology of art. But yeah, I mean, there was the last issue of Secret Wars. This Iceman I was buying this Iceman comic, but I got this too. This was this inherited Marvel Team Up. Marvel Team Up had stopped, and this was the new Spider-Man. So there have been at least minimum 4 Spider-Man titles going on since the mid-70s. Amazing Spider-Man, Peter Parker the Spectacular Spider-Man, Marvel Team Up starring Spider-Man and ... Also Spider-Man, Super Spidey Stories, the Electric Company stuff. And Web of Spider-Man switches from Marvel Team Up to Web of Spider-Man. Yeah, that's about it. Why? Maybe that's like where the new number 1 thing started coming about from, Look at this Ghost Rider cover. I'm gonna wrap this up. I can do this. See, I can talk about comic books all day long, every day, and I usually do. And there's a lot of photographic evidence to support such a claim. And hopefully, you've been around for that too. And let me just close that. It's time to let's get to our day. Thank you so much for spending some time with me on New Comic Book Day. Let us know in the comment section, what comics are you picking up? What are you putting down? Are you getting Shazam #7 by Mark Waid? I put it down a couple of months back because I was just, it's, it's a nice comic. It really is. But I'd rather be buying, there's a line where it's just like, do you spend money on it, therefore spending physical space on it? Or can you just read it digitally and just, commit it to memory and be like, oh, that was nice. There's a line there. Where are you on that line? Where, keep yourself in line. That's not the words, Pika. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless, namaste, good luck. Join us again on Sunday, 3 p.m. for our weekly review show live stream. Thank you so very much. Hopefully we'll see you in the live chat. And hopefully we'll see you in the comments. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. Smash that like button. Turn on those notifications. Bring a friend. Suggest to a friend. And keep reading comic books. Only we, being healthy, can make a healthier marketplace and a healthier product. There is a symbiotic chain here, all right? We're not talking venom or carnage. We're talking about, let's really own the whole B to B to C, as Perch would say, the business to customer. Well, let's be the healthiest customers we can be, and hopefully our shops are just as healthy as we are, and eventually the product has to reflect the needs of the marketplace. Thank you so very much. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. We will see you again in those funny pages. Ciao. Bye-bye.